welcome back, bro, to another live stream after like months, I think, of not even streaming. But yeah, I don't even know. Alright, but guys, we're about to be reacting to 6 Valentine's Day horror stories and more. And they're all animated, by the way. So yeah. So let's just get straight into it. Hold on. Full volume? Let's do this, guys. Hold up. Hmm. What the heck? Bro. Wait, sorry to pause, but do these people do drugs, bro? Look at their eyes. Oh, oh. With no shirt on? Whoa. Ah. Oh no. Oh no. Damn. Azip. Ah. Wait, oh no. Oh damn. I think I know where this is going. Yeah, I know where this is going. Oh. Wait, let me just go to the stream. Okay. Oh sure, wait, you can't hear? Wait, what did I do wrong? Oh yeah, hold on. Sorry guys. Okay, for the people that were in here, let me just explain what happened. So basically, these couple were just in a treehouse, like they just rented a treehouse to spend Valentine's Day in. And then what's it called? Like it was just in the middle of nowhere. It was like junk. It was hella bad. I'm pretty sure you guys were able to see. Then like they wanted wine, so they got like some out of a glass. And then the guy like choked on glass and bro, that thing stabbed into his throat. I don't know. It didn't even show like blood or anything. And then they had like he got it out. He didn't die. He survived. And then they called pizza. And then that pizza man killed the husband. And now he's tying that girl on the bed and he's trying to do the freaky wiki with her. Okay, hold on. Let me share system audio. Okay. Let's go, boys. You guys ready? Let's go.
This kid was going to snap. This definitely felt like a crime of opportunity. He was nervous and skittish and was constantly waving the knife around as a threat as I finished up the bonds in my hands. I made sure that my feet were loose enough that I could still fight in case he had any other ideas. Then he took my wallet back to his car and returned with his smartphone. He started to video me.
What?
I don't know if it was for his own sick pleasure or what, but I was just too terrified to really say anything unless prompted. A few times he spit on me. Finally, he decided that he'd had his fun and left before my husband finally came to. I sat there tied up on the bed for a good 30 minutes before James came stumbling into the room, looking frantic and confused by what had just happened. We called the cops immediately, but would you believe they didn't even bother to send anyone that night? Instead, we basically got no sleep because I was sure that Psycho would come back. I tended to James's wounds and did my best not to think about the fact that we were basically stranded up here in the mountains with no money. James insisted that it was going to be all right, but I was having a really hard time seeing the positive to any of this. In the AM, the cops finally came by the resort and wrote down everything we had told them, and we both did our best to provide a description of the driver and of his car. It really helped me to realize that I have a terrible memory because, for the life of me, I could only remember 2 or 3 things about this kid. He was white, he wore a baseball cap, and he had a southern accent, not exactly helpful. But the officers promised that they would keep us informed on any developments, and we were supposed to stay there another day and night without any protection.
Oh no.
I know it's crazy to think that this
Leave.
psychopath might come back, but I told James
Leave
that I
that
didn't want to
place,
risk
bro.
it. I don't care about the deposit. I just want to go home. And he agreed. He had already told his mother about what had happened over the Valentines, and she
Wait, hold on. Can you guys hear? Is anybody here? To the person in here, I think it's Carlos or Sammy. Can you guys like hear it? I'm gonna go back on, watch it for a bit, and I'll check what you comment.
Wired some money to his PayPal so we could afford some gas. On the way back home, I was busy calling and canceling credit cards and trying my best to forget about the whole thing. James instead insisted that we both go take self-defense courses, which I was not totally against.
But they don't have
It just
any
made me
money,
realize that he had been just as scared as me that day. A few months later, after a lot of back and forth hassle with the company, we did actually get most of our money back. They admitted in their email that it wasn't the first time their customers
Let me see.
had reported suspicious activity on the property. Next time we plan a vacation, I'm picking, I teased James. It's crazy how we kind of laugh about it now all these years later, but dear God, if things had gone differently, I'm honestly not even sure I'd be here today.
Damn.
My 20
Okay, I've got a different story. No more Valentine. Let's see. Wendy's. Let's see. No. Hooters. Ew. What is that? You guys, we need to watch this. Oh, damn. I might have to, like...
Want to save money on gaming gear? Try Capital One Shopping. You should download it, because it's totally free.
We're going back many, many years for this, but I grew up in Northern California in quite a poor rural area. Some of my best friends from elementary and middle school lived like 10 to 15 miles away, so on weekends, instead of just going over to visit for the day, we'd have sleepovers to save our parents driving these crazy round trips. So I had this one friend called Star, whose parents were like old school hippies. Their house always smelled of patchouli. They were vegan before vegan was even really a thing, and aside from a few unusual recreational activities, they were basically just as good as being parents as any other couple. They were sweet, loving, and attentive, and I always had a ball whenever I went to sleepovers at their place, mainly because they'd let us stay outdoors in a tent at night, which was just such a huge adventure for a little group of preteen tomboys. Anyways, this one night we're staying in a tent in the backyard, but it was a backyard that extended to one side of the house. Where we're camped is in the view of the TV room window, so Star's mom and dad could keep an eye on us, but it also meant we could see the driveway from the flap of our tent. It was...
I'm just gonna check if you guys can hear it. Yo, guys. This before I say this might show some blood, and I'll skip it. Just in case anything bad happens. But yeah, let's get back in it, you know?
It was summertime, so it was still incredibly warm at night, so we ended up leaving the tent flat unzipped to let some cool air in. It obviously wasn't open all the way, because bugs, but we can still see outside the tent.
We're back. We're back, guys.
Then, in the middle of the night, Star shakes me awake and whispers, "There's someone in the driveway." I'm thinking it might have been her big brother, who was a few years older than us and was attending college. But when I suggested that, she said, "No, there's a bunch of people, look." I start getting real anxious hearing that, so I quietly creep up to the tent flap to peek out, and that's when I saw that Star was exactly right. In the little bit of moonlight that we had, I literally lost count of the number of people I saw creeping up her driveway. It was seriously one of the scariest moments of my life, mainly because there was absolutely nothing to do but keep as quiet as possible. We couldn't call the cops. This was way before cell phones. We couldn't warn Star's parents without revealing our presence. We were just powerless, forced to watch people who obviously didn't have good intentions slowly approaching Star's house. I think in the end, Star just broke, and in a move you could either call...
My bad, guys, I'm back. Alright, boys. Alright, let's get this out of the way. Alright, let's go.
Call real brave or real stupid. She just ran out of the tent shouting, "Get away from my house," and then, "Mom, Dad, call the cops." As soon as she started screaming, a bunch of flashlights burst into life, obviously held by the guy sneaking up the driveway. And oh my...
Wait, did something bad happen? Oh no, to me I missed it. Okay, no, okay, I don't think something bad
God, there were so many of them. At first glance in the darkness, it looked no more than about 5 or 6 people. But when they all turned their flashlights on, it was clear the number was more like 15 or 20. I just hear, "Sheriff's Department, show me your hands." And that was incredibly confusing because we were all about calling the cops to get help, but like, the cops were already here? Anyway, Star does as she's told, while me and our friends start climbing out of the tent with our hands in the air. That's when the person approaching us started saying, "Jesus, they're just kids, man." And with them being closer, I could see that they really were cops, with caps and badges and all patches on their arms, all that stuff. Then I hear, "Go, go, go, get in there." And the cops start bashing the front door to the house in while other cops fanned around the backyard and headed towards one of the barns. We were scared, obviously, but we're so focused on just staying down and watching that we're not really freaking out too bad. But when the cops started dragging Star's mom and dad out of the house and arresting them, she had to be restrained by the cop that was guarding us. After that, the cops drove me and our friend back to our respective homes. Then, I don't know what they did with Star. I think they took her to her grandma's or her aunt's or whatever. Then a few days later, we find out that Star's mom and dad had been growing something they shouldn't have in one of their barns. I get that it was illegal and stuff, but the aftermath was just so sad. Star had to go live with her relatives because her parents were sent off to prison for a few years. It was messed up. And I get that the cops were just doing their job and stuff, but it was definitely one of the scariest times of my life. Seeing all those figures in black, just creeping towards my friend's house. So, back when I was a kid, me and my best bud were having a sleepover. His mom and dad had gotten a divorce a couple months prior, so to counter all the stress of it, he pretty much got whatever he wanted. Not like his mom was spoiling him or anything, she was just being super nice to make sure he wasn't too bummed about his dad leaving. Did it work? Yes and no. Getting to have his friends sleep over, getting an Xbox, a cell phone, and getting much more personal freedom was all well and good, but every so often you could tell the whole thing was getting to him. The good thing was, I got to spend a whole bunch more time with him to give him the support we needed, which coincidentally meant that I was there for one of the worst moments of his childhood. Actually, make that both our childhoods. So, we're having a sleepover, and his mom is having a friend over. We're upstairs, they're downstairs. At one point, I wanted a glass of water, so I head downstairs, but you had to walk through the TV room to get to the kitchen, and when I do, I see my buddy's mom's friend is a dude, and they're getting kinda close, if you know what I'm saying. They jump off each other when I walk into the room. I walk through like, don't mind me, and it's incredibly awkward as I walk back through with my glass of water. Then, I make the mistake of mentioning it to my buddy. He's clearly not happy with the fact that it's a dude. Like, we're ninth graders at this point, so we're pretty savvy to, you know. Anyway, my buddy isn't happy, but he just does his usual thing of internalizing it before distracting himself.
So let's say you have to read an incredibly long email from your boss that you have to finish before the big meeting starts in 10 minutes. Or you're cramming for an exam the night.
Not the best coping mechanism in hindsight. It is what it is. And remember that cell phone I mentioned? Well, his mom bought it for him so he could keep in touch with his dad, which he then does. And guess what's the first thing he tells him? Yep, that there's a strange dude over at his house. I totally blame myself in the moment. It sucked so hard, and when my buddy hung up, turned to me with a smug grin and said, "Dad's on his way over." I just knew something bad was going to happen. I kind of wanted to leave, but at the same time, my whole reason for being at that time was being a good friend to Ryan, I had a really healthy family life at home. Like, my mom and dad were a loving, dedicated couple, right up until the day my dad passed. And I'd like to think they raised good kids. But Ryan, his parents were total morons. And good God, did that make me feel guilty. So, I stuck around. I knew something horrible was going to happen, but I had zero freaking clue to how bad it'd really be. My buddy's bedroom window overlooked his driveway, so when his dad finally did show up, we could see and hear almost everything that went on down there. His dad, and I'm not embellishing here, hurtles up the driveway at like 40 miles an hour, screeches to a stop, and then doesn't even shut his door when he climbed out of his car. Ryan is watching him, looking at him like his dad is a knight in shining armor for a few seconds, right up until he says, "Oh crap, I think my dad has a gun." Hearing that final word sent this razor-sharp icicle running right through my guts. I knew there'd probably be shouting and fighting, but shooting? Then all we hear through an open window is, "Where is he?" It was Ryan's dad. He'd banged on the door until his mom answered, and then demanded to know where her guy friend was. Ryan's mom's all like, "I don't know what you're talking about." But then Ryan's dad goes from 0 to 100 in a second flat. "Don't lie to me, Linda, where is he?" he says. There's this very real, palpable pause, and me and Ryan are just on this very
Wait, by the way, I can't see chat, so I'm gonna check chat right now. Alright. Hey, yo, wait, Jaden H and Jaden A are here? Alright, guys. Okay. I might not be talking that much because, we're just gonna be reacting. But I might say some stuff. So, yeah, let's go straight into it. I can't see chat.
tense, nervous feeling. Then his mom says, "Who told you?" Again, shiver of ice through my stomach, because I'm basically the one who told, and in that moment, I told myself that whatever was about to happen was completely my fault. "See?" Ryan's dad exploded at the admission. "You're a freaking liar, Linda. Now get out of my way." We could hear Ryan's mom screaming for a second. Then we heard another voice, only this one is definitely inside the house. The guy friend. "Get off!" he screamed. You heard the guy start to shout something at Ryan's dad. Then he just went totally silent, and all you could hear were feet beating against the floorboards downstairs. All before, bam, bam, bam.
What are you watching?
3 distinct gunshots that echoed around the house. Me and Ryan are just bawling at this point, because we could still hear his mom screaming, and we had no idea if she'd been shot, if the boyfriend was dead, if the boyfriend had a gun and fired at Ryan's dad. The whole situation was traumatic enough, but the not knowing, man, that was just the worst. I had to grab Ryan's cell phone off of him to call 911. He just totally shut down from the stress. He'd had a rough enough few months while the whole divorce thing went on, then now he had to deal with potentially a dead mom or dad. I don't blame him, honestly. It was bad enough for me, and it wasn't even any of my parents. The 3 shots were all heard, and before the cops showed up, the only sounds we could hear were Ryan's mom crying downstairs. We should have gone to check on her. I know we should have, but the dispatcher told us both to stay put because we didn't know if there was still an active shooter or whatever, so we did as we were told. Thankfully, everyone turned out to be okay, and no one was even shot.
Nobody was shot? Nobody was shot? So you're telling me that that guy's alive and there's no bullet in his head? Nobody got shot. Really? Hear this.
Dispatcher told us both to stay put because we didn't know if there was still an active shooter or whatever, so we did as we were told. Thankfully, everyone turned out to be okay, and no one was even shot. Ryan's dad had aimed the gun at his mom's friend as soon as he'd laid eyes on him, but the guy was quick and just bolted out the back of the house as Ryan's dad pursued. He fired 3 shots, but it was basically just to scare the guy away at that point. And I heard none of the bullets even went near him. But still, it was
Same cop.
terrifying. And Ryan's dad ended up going back to prison for a long while because of it. I remember going to my
Okay, let me check chat. Oh! What the Same cup. Huh? Alright. I skipped. Okay, we were on. We already saw this, I think. Okay. Wait, what story was it? Okay, that was this. Here. Alright.
I remember going to my first ever sleepover in 4th grade. The nighttime was great. We played Nintendo, made a fort out of the couch cushions in his TV room, everything a kid could dream of. We went to bed way later than usual, told spooky stories while we shined flashlights at the ceiling. It was every part the Norman Rockwell cliché. Right up until the next morning. We wake up bright and early. He heads out to the bathroom, but when he does, I hear his mom whispering something to him in the hallway outside his bedroom. Then, he comes back in and really somberly says, "My mom says you gotta go home." Naturally, I ask why, but he shrugs and tells me my mom is already on the way to give me a ride. As you can guess, we were real sad about it, but we'd had a whole bunch of fun the night before, and even kids know that the good times gotta come to an end sometime. Anyway, my mom shows up. I say bye to my friend Mikey and his mom, but I notice that his dad isn't around. He'd been there the night before, and he was a really cool guy, so I asked them to tell him I said bye and thank you so he didn't think I was rude or anything. Mikey said sure, but his mom just kind of looked off into the distance and stayed silent. I thought that was kind of weird, but it was really early in the morning, so I didn't think much of it. But I definitely noticed how the really fun, warm atmosphere of the night before had been replaced by something much colder. Then, when I got into my mom's car, she too was acting like something terrible had happened. I might have been just 9, but I wasn't dumb, so I remember asking her what was going on, that I knew something weird had happened and I'd rather just know. So, she tells me.
What the heck?
She tells me that while me and my buddy were sleeping peacefully in our pillow fort, his dad had an aneurysm in the next room and was dead before anyone had woken up. It was bad. I know that seems like an understatement, but it was worse than I could have imagined. His mom pretty much fell apart, and she and my friend left town shortly afterward to go live with relatives. It's something that haunted me for a long time, knowing I was so close to a death like that, as well as seeing how a sudden death can just wreck someone's mental and physical health. Like the last time I saw his mom, she'd lost a whole bunch of weight, a complete shadow of her former self.
Dang.
My buddy looked pretty bad too, but he was definitely taking it much better than she was. That was the last time I saw either of them, when they came over to break the news that they were moving away. It sucked, and we promised to stay in touch, but I guess things don't always turn out the way you want them to. Way back when I first started middle school, it was in a different part of New Jersey, so I didn't really know anyone. I was terrified I wouldn't be able to make any new friends, so imagine my relief when I met Jenny. Jenny isn't her real name, and I'm not going to use any real names in this for reasons that will become obvious. So me and Jenny became fast friends, so we decided to have ourselves a little sleepover at her mom's place. Our parents talked it over, and we arranged for me to go home with her on a Friday after school. Then my mom would come get me on the Saturday morning. The Friday arrives, I catch the bus back to Jenny's place with her, and this marks
Good.
Hey, wanna play some video games?
my
I know I
gosh.
do. I haven't seen the sun in years.
Nice.
Marks the first time I ever met Jenny's mom. She seemed weird, to say the least. Jenny's dad wasn't in the picture anymore, and I don't think her mom took it very well, because she was the kind of woman who was into crystals and Reiki and all that other spiritual stuff. Maybe she was into that stuff before he left her. The point is, she was that kind of witchy woman, I guess you could say. The evening started off with Jenny's mom being
Wait. Let's look for something hella creepy. These stories are not even scary. Oh, mental hospital. I need to see that thumbnail picture. Bro. Oh. Alright, this is a really good story, honestly. Hold up. Wait, what? Oh. That didn't even show. Oh. Alright. Let's see. Yo. Wait, what does that even say? Oh! No. No. Omegle. Deep web. Guys, drop down an idea right now. Like what kind of stories? Like lockdowns, horror, like, but it's name a specific. Cause I just wanna like watch what you guys wanna watch. Or just drop something down below. We need to watch some scary stories right now. Oh. Oh shit, okay. Huh? Okay, we're just gonna watch one more and end stream. Cause man, it's been pretty late. Alright. You know guys, we're gonna watch a Hello People one. What the fuck? Alright. Let's not watch animated stories. Let's watch like some scary videos right now. Alright. Try not to get scared. We're not gonna play around anymore. Let's do this. I hate that music, bro. That's Springtrap? Yo, wait. Yo. Don't end. Alright. Dude, can we even watch that? That's that's makeup. Oh no, give me over that. What in the Humpty Dumpty? Scary girls? Guys. Nah. Can we do this? Go get my brothers coming out of here. So toxic, man. Okay, what can we do here? Alright. Jaden, we cannot do this. Oh. Hi. What the fuck? That's fun. I hate this music. I can't. I just reloaded a stream. Kaka. Guys, start commenting. Okay, yes, thank you. I'm scared. Just stay on my side, alright? Alright. Stay with me, bro. Stay with me. Don't leave me here. That's a short horror film. No. Jaden, you better start commenting, bro. Start commenting. I'm starting to feel like you're leaving. Please, no. Say something. Should I react to this with my camera on? No, I might not. Oh. Bye.
Warning, this content is
Dude, why are you talking so slow? Serious? Huh? Oi! Run her over! Run her ass over! Dude, why do people stop? Oh shit! Guys! Oh damn! Oh! What the fuck? No, guys, just stay away, bro. Did I break a bone? No, I'm sorry. I'm gonna open my door. Tia, mom. Okay, I had to open my door. I'm sorry. I need to end stream. I don't need to. I want to because I'm scared. All right. See you guys.